John from OptixEQ, and I wanted to look quickly at some races at Gulfstream today, the late daily double races 10 and 11. And with Optics Plot and our tools, you can really hone in on some things quickly by just getting a quick visual on how they look. And I'm going to look at race 10 here at Gulfstream, and you can see there's quite a bit bunching here in quadrant one. The contention is a flame. Now the speed rating is low. Okay, so that's one thing we want to concern. But look at the run styles. We have 5 horses grouped here under EP, so they're going to want to be up near the lead and pressing. And if you just kind of go across and hover over some of these, you can see that their maximum distance behind is kind of short. In the case of number 3, it's 0.5 or half a length, so he wants to be up close. 2 lengths on the 4, 1 length on the 7, a half a length on the 5. And 2.5 on the 1. So the 1 looks like, maybe he can sit a little bit, but his post compromises him, right? So he's going to have to kind of get out there and get into contention early. So it looks kind of crowded on the front end just based on this. So that would kind of leave us with the horses in the presser closer positions, the 2, 6, and 8. And you can see the 2 has the, and he's actually the morning line favorite. He has the largest square of those. But I would consider all these. So I'm going to just kind of start my handicapping. Let's go to the grid. Let's go to race 10. And I'm going to look at the 2, 6, and 8. And here's something that you can do if you want to just kind of narrow the field down to. If you go all the way to the right, you can see there's a program number there. And what I'm going to do is say 2 or 6 or 8. And what's going to happen is I'm going to just get the past performances for those 3 horses. Okay, so yeah, I kind of look at the 2. This is the favorite. This horse is run. Last time it looks like a higher optional claimer, 16,000. But you can see that the fig range in that race was kind of low. It was off the turf race. So those races typically aren't as strong. It was in the slop, but he ran a good race. He's won at this level before, so he's obvious contender. Just I don't know if the value is going to be there, and 3 to 1 may be short. Don't know. Let's just scroll down here to number 6. This horse is kind of interesting. You could see that this horse ran for claiming 12. Again, looks like I don't know how strong that race compared to today was, but the horse did have traffic. He lacked room, and you can say he was buried inside of horses, had to wait and not clear late. So that was a disadvantage. And if you scroll away here, the race shape in that race was very slow, fast. So he was against the flow of the race. You could see he was against the flow of the race there. The time before, he was pressing. That's kind of not like his style. So I don't know what the intention of the jockey and the trainer there was there on that race. And then, the race before, he was kind of wide, didn't do much. But, if you can look at, just go back to a race here where he kind of gets a little bit of a pace at. This horse can close into, if the pace is fast and they come back. He's the kind of horse that he ran his best race with that scenario in 84 back on the 20th, on this track. So, He's 4.5 to 1 or 9 to 2 in the morning line. I would want all of that and then some. But I think this is also a good jockey change. His regular jockey kind of goes away, but Vasquez has been riding fairly well, and I think this is a positive rider change. So to me, he's a contender, and when you're looking for off the pace flow, he's one of them that you might want to consider. And then the 8. This horse is best of speed, but he's moving way up in class. Now, the only thing is look at this. The ops fig for that range, it was similar to today's. That not so sure that what the case was. But again, this horse was on an early pace that was very slow. The shape race was very slow, but he did kick home. So I wouldn't throw him out. But if I was just kind of looking at these, the 2 and the 6 look better. The 6 looks like the value play, but I would consider using the 8 and the exotics. And I would do more handicapping on some of the speed horses and see how they fare. But that's the 10th race at Gulfstream. Quick look at that. Just looks like an off-the-pace flow. Race 11, okay. When I looked at this race, when you just look at it on standard, this is a turf sprint. The kind of 4, the 7 and 3, and the 10 just pop out at you. especially the 4 and the 7. They look really good. I mean, and the 3, they all look good actually, just on a plot. Let's switch over to surface and distance because it's a very specialized distance, 5 furlongs. And the 3, the 7, the 10 a little less, and the 4 still kind of pop at you. But one thing that, just initially when I see this is like the price on the 3 and the 7 are 5-2 and 3-1. So is the 4 a viable play? So I would just go into this, take a look at that race and look at the grid and see if there's something. But the 4 is 10-1, and just based on look at the plots, he's got a comparable plot to those other horses that look good on the plot. So you can see this race is maiden claimer. So the horses are there's some weak horses in here. You got a first time starter. You got to evaluate. Don't know on that one. The 3. Ran okay at 25,000. That was on the dirt, and it looks like even in his turf races, we wanted him to stretch out. So he is one of the horses that we were kind of looking at. He's been running in the 60s range, mid to upper 60s, which is right, but no great shakes at 5-2. Don't see an advantage with that horse over some others as we go down this. This horse has been losing at lower levels. We're going to not like that horse. The 7 was the other one that we thought was looked good on the plot. No great shakes. I mean, he may move after a slow break the last time, but again, 3-1, and doesn't look like he's got much of an advantage speed figure wise. He's kind of in the same range. Could win it, but he's 3-1. Let's go back to the 4. That's the horse that looked good on the plot. And you can see, I mean, he's run good races at this, a little bit below this level, but it was a B-. The speed figure came back a little slow, but it still was a B-. He dueled, didn't change leads. He pressed in his last race at this level, and that was a solid B-. So he was a big price that day, and he's 10-1. But there's really, you can see his range. He's run 66, 65. That's kind of in the mix. And when you just compare him price-wise to the 3 and the 7, he just kind of looks like a horse that you might consider. The 10 was the other horse that looked okay on the plot. He's ran one race at the Meadowlands. He's been laid off. He's a horse that you might want to just, again, look at. Let's just see how he's working coming into this race. We'll just click. This is the workout button. You get the raw workout information if you click that button. And nothing great shakes jumping out at us, but I guess one you might just want to consider based on in your exotics play. But just initially, what kind of jumped at us is the 4 didn't look any worse for the wear to the other 3 horses that'll take money, and at 10-1, if you get anywhere near that, I think that horse is worth the play. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. Good luck.